Hi, I'm Nick Strom, and this is my practice persuasive presentation. Growing up, pretty much all of my friends I had were from school. We went to school together, we hung out outside of school together, and many of us even played sports together. Really, everyone I knew was from school. I really couldn't imagine trying to make friends as a kid without school. One day, I was out with my mom running errands, nothing too exciting. We ran into a friend of hers. I didn't know her. She was a friend that I never met before, and I was 15 at the time, and she had a son with her. I didn't recognize him at all, which wasn't uncommon considering I went to a pretty big sized school, and there were a lot of other schools around the area and private schools. Anyways, I started talking to him, and right away I noticed he was pretty awkward. I'm pretty outgoing myself, so talking to new people has never really been an issue for me, but I could tell he wasn't very outgoing. I asked him, the normal things like, do you play sports and whatnot, and I asked him where he went to school, and he told me he was homeschooled. Right away, I was kind of surprised because before then I did not really personally know anyone who was homeschooled. All of my friends, everyone that I knew that lived in my neighborhood, were all in like the same school system as me. Anyways, soon enough, our moms were done talking, and we went our separate ways, and that was that. But it, it was always something that kind of ran through my mind, time to time whenever it would come up, maybe on like a TV show, or just I'd hear someone talking about it, I'd kind of think back to that like moment when I was talking to him. Like how do they make friends? How do people who are homeschooled like play on sports teams in high school? Do they go to parties and like are they weird? Just all of them or not? I don't know. I really had no idea. So when I started doing this, when we got this presentation, I thought this would be something good for me to research. When I decided to do homeschooling or do this presentation on homeschooling, it was clear that obviously there are positives to homeschooling. Well, some are when parents decide to homeschool, they can really control what their kid is learning. You can do activities that interest your child specifically and make learning more fun for them and makes it easy. This often results in a better grasp of material, which would obviously make them smarter and remember their material. It allows you to do your schooling around your schedule. Some people have specific circumstances that don't really allow them to be able to do their schooling at designated times of day. That school takes place. So you can do homeschooling. Some doing homeschooling allows you to do the work when you have time, whether that is early in the morning or late at night or any time in between. Homeschooling also allows you to spend a lot of quality time with your own kids, which can really develop into a good, meaningful relationship as they grow up. This might not be something that all kids have the chance to do with their parents, especially if they're working all the time and, the kids at school. All that said, there's obviously, in my opinion, many disadvantages to homeschooling. When you decide to homeschool your kid, it means you're now responsible for their education and everything that goes along with it. You have to spend hours and hours every week with your child, teaching them material that might not make sense, and that can get really frustrating for them. You can never just take a day off when you don't feel like it. It's a full time job for you, and you're volunteering to do it. You're not really getting paid. Homeschooling also costs a lot more money out of your pocket. You have to buy all your own textbooks and materials that classrooms would normally provide for your kid if they did go to normal school. You might also get into many arguments with your child while they are your kid. This often happens with kids and parents. This can cause tension and issues if you're just arguing a lot and getting in fights. It can just make the whole learning process more difficult. And then, there's the social aspect of it, which I think is a really big part of it. Most kids, for me anyways, I developed my social habits, just going to school and talking to people. I think that's how, nowadays that's how it really works, just interacting at a young age. If they don't develop these skills, it can really be difficult later in life when the kids go off to college or even get a job. All of a sudden they're thrown in a place where they have to have social skills to really succeed. it makes it hard for them to make friends at homeschool. At school you're surrounded by other people at all times of the day, giving you the opportunity to make friends and have a social circle. Where at homeschool you don't get that. Another disadvantage would if homeschooling is like these kids miss out on a lot of important events in high school. You know, you could like the school dances, homecoming and prom. You homeschool your kid, they don't really get the opportunity to do that. Especially with like their social circle, like with a group of friends that a lot of us kind of remember, for the rest of our lives. And even with sports, when you get in the high school age, a lot of rec and travel teams, they stop having teams when the kids get into high school because it's kind of expected that they'll go on and play at the high school level, or if not, then they usually just kind of stop playing at that point. But if you don't go to high school, it's kind of you're just done regardless. It doesn't make sense. When you stop doing sports, that can also hurt your limited social skills that you're already getting from, without going to normal school. So, obviously there are a lot of advantages and disadvantages to homeschooling. At the end of the day, I just think it's a must that your kids have to actually go to an actual learning environment and surrounded by other kids at the same age. Without going to school, kids can really have a hard time making friends and developing good social skills. They also miss out on the chance to attend school functions and making memories they can remember for the rest of their lives. So, I think my stance is clear that I just don't think homeschooling is the right option for many kids, but I guess at the end of the day, it's up to the parent. So, yeah.